Please talk.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you can say it now.
Okay, very good morning to everyone. I am audible, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much
You are
for
audible.
that nice introduction about me. So first of all, I would like to thank principal, head of the department, and faculty members from the Department of Physics, Government College, Manavar. And also I extend thanks to Indian Association of Physics Teachers for giving this opportunity. So special thanks to convener Professor Jitendra Sholanki for inviting me to this international e-symposium and for giving me the opportunity to talk on instruments used in radiology and radiation oncology. So overview of my talk will cover on these 5 topics. So first one, basics of some radiological physics. What is radiation? Where radiation we are applying in the medical field as well in the industrial field. Second, we will discuss about diagnostic radiology instruments. So radiography, mammography, CT, MRI, ultrasound, so many instruments is there. We will see one by one, very clear and briefly. And nuclear medicine, there is a separate department. We are using a radioactive element in the department. And radiation oncology is a very unique department in the treatment of cancer, teletherapy, brachytherapy, and finally, it's an advanced treatment modality that is called particle therapy. So everyone, all of you knows, I think, his name of W.C. Ranchan. He invented the X-ray in the year of 1895 when he accidentally noticed that fluorescent material showed a finite glow when placed near a cathode ray tube and forward to the high voltage induction coil. And then, Ranchan was the first identified that ray, so he named that ray name as the X-ray name. No one find that name previously. That is, he called that name as a X-ray. And the right image shows the hand. That is a wife image of him, Berthel's hand. When she see that image, she said, "I have seen my death." So in the last image shows previously they don't aware about the radiation safety. So they are using to measure their bone size to buy a good shoe for the leg. So nowadays, the international and the national committees are developed and they're monitoring each and every instrument and radioactive elements in the society, world level. So next, so what is radiation? Radiation is an energy that comes from a source and travel through space and may be able to penetrate various materials. So we are living with radiation. We never the radiation. So you can see that animation when external energy comes to the atom that interact to the element that orbit K, L, M cells that the electrons eject from the orbit and then that needs minimum energy of ionization 12.4 electron volt. So in the end of the image shows the electromagnetic spectrum. So first 5 things that is called a radio, micro, infrared, visible light and ultraviolets are non-ionizing radiation that not cause any damage in the human body. But it damage, it's a comparatively ionizing radiation that is very, very low. So when come to the ionization radiation, that is called a X-ray, gamma rays and cosmic rays that damage our human body. So here, understand principle of frequency and wavelength. Frequency and wavelength inversely proportional in the electromagnetic spectrum. Right? Okay. So what is the application of radiation in the medical, in research and industry? So when we talk about the radiation in medicine, that divide into two categories. First one, diagnostic radiology, that is for diagnosis purposes. Another one is therapeutic purposes. So again, the diagnostic purposes divide into two categories. That is one radiology and another one is a nuclear medicine. In therapeutic, that called as a radiotherapy and nuclear medicine. So you can find here nuclear medicine comes from the diagnostic as well in the therapeutic also. So the nuclear medicine radioactive elements using to identify the disease and cure the disease. That is called the iodine. The thyroid patient, they are intaking iodine content. So in teletherapy, they are divided into two categories. First, one is the teletherapy, another one is the brachytherapy. Tele in the sense, we are exposing some radiation from the distance. Brachy very closer to the tumor. There is a major difference between teletherapy and brachytherapy. So in radiation research, it's medical universities, industrials, agriculture purposes, and university. And radiation in industrial, it's a irradiation purposes, and the industrial radiography purposes, customer products. These are some basic understanding of application of radiation. So what is radioactive sources in our society? So every day we are seeing so many radioactive sources in and around our living. We are living with the radiation. So solar radiation, consumer products, radioactive wastage, and nuclear medicine, that is radiopharmaceutical, we are injecting to the human body. And if you need it, we're taking some X-rays and terrestrial radiation. Food, here banana has potassium content. Potassium is a radioactive element. And nuclear power stations, and each other in the sense, radiation is nothing but some heat energy, that is called a radiation. So radon. So basically, all of you know, I think, so 5 kind of interaction in the physics, interaction with the matter: coherent scattering, photoelectric effect, Compton effect, pair protection, and Blumstein radiation. So we here consider 3 kind of radiation, that is photoelectric effect, Compton effect, and pair protection. So photoelectric effect play main role in radiology, Compton effect play main role in the radiotherapy, pair protection in nuclear medicine. So we will see one by one. So what is photoelectric effect? Say low energy photon interact with an electron in the atom and remove from the cell. So you see some internal incoming energy is coming to the atom and hit on the K cell electron, it eject from the K cell. So here creating some valence bond. So all of you see my cursor? It's a visual?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So here the K cell electron eject from the atom, so that K cell create the valence. So from the L and M cell, change the location to L to K, M to L. So during that process, some energy we are absorbing. That is called a characteristic radiation that uses in the radiology department. This is the base for radiology department in the CT, in film screen radiography, digital radiography, all the things. So what is film screen radiography? So film screen radiography is the use of silicon film with a cassette being placed behind the object to the image and exposed to an X-ray beam. So here, suppose we placing that cassette, the patient will come here, 45 degree, 45 degree. So we will expose to that plate go to the darkroom facility. That is called a darkroom facility. In older days, that name film screen radiography, that we should understand that darkroom facility, their storage place is there, film storage, here safe light is there. So once you expose that film, you come and place in the pixel developer and washing. So that process take minimum 20 to 35, 40 minutes to develop a single radiography. Okay. So when discuss about computer radiography is the digital replacement of conventional X-ray film radiography. The conventional X-ray film radiography is nothing but film screen radiography and offers enormous advantages for that using fluorescent image plate, it's a reusable plate. And chemical processing and darkroom are not needed here. We need some reader that is called as cassette reader. That CR cassette, computer radiography cassette, inside has fluorescent plate, PSP plate. So that plate store the image and it will put in that reader that automatically read with the help of photo multiplier tube that converted into analog to digital converter. You will get attractive 2D images on the screen. So once read that plate, again that film will come to here, erase that image. So again it go to the previous location, that will come to the cassette. That cassette again we will use it in the clinical purposes. So when the IP plate is exposed to the X-ray or gamma radiation, the phosphor layer in the plate store the image. As the IP means image plate, is read by the scanner. A focused laser releases the stored image in the form of visible light as a photon. That photon converted in the visible image. So next, the digital, this is advanced one. Most of the centers not having this one, but this is a comparatively high price. When we talk about film screen radiography, the same X-ray tube, only the detecting method only varies. Here also the same X-ray tube, only the detecting method varies. Here also the same X-ray tube, only the detector method only varies. You should understand what is the difference between screen film, CR and DR. So when we talk about digital X-ray, that replace the film and the CR plates with a direct, here we are getting a direct image on the screen that immediately transfer one system, one computer system to another computer system with the help of fax. So digital radiography is the direct conversions of transmitted X-ray photons in a digital image using an array of solid state detector such as amorphous selenium or silicon. With the computer process and display of the image, DR X-ray systems are used for both fixed radiography. We can use it in the mobile radiography also. So next you come to mobile radiography. So what is mobile radiography? Generally, this equipment used in the bedside radio, it's call it as a bedside radiography. So some patients cannot walk from the ward, one ward to another ward. So during that time, we need some urgent chest X-ray. So these instruments helps to take chest X-ray. So we can move it from one floor to one floor, one place to one place. Okay. So nowadays, we are in the COVID crisis, COVID-19 crisis. All international level, there are all of them talking about chest radiography. So last 15 days before, this instrument has some demands. So no product is there. So most of the hospitals are needed to take chest X-ray. So this is very much good for the chest X-ray images. Okay. So next one, that mammography. So first 4 kind of instruments we are using X-ray. Here also X-ray, but this is called some soft X-ray. We can call it as a soft X-ray. When we are operating the X-ray tube, that ranges from 28 to 38 or 40 kVp. When go to the film screen radiography or CR and DR, there we can operate up to 150 kVp, 150 kilo voltage. So when we increase the voltage, that will penetrate the more depth. When increase the MA factor, milliampere, we deposit more energy to the patient. So comparatively, radiography and mammography is very, very low dose rate in the mammography. So when you have mammogram, you stand in front of the X-ray machine. The person who have the X-ray plate, your breast, between the 2 plates, that is called here you see, this is a bucky. When you should hold your cassette in the bucky. This is a compression pedal. So once compressing with image that will get good attractive image. Without compression, you cannot identify any kind of diagnosis and the image. So the patient again go for the retake. So compression is mandatory. So this is a protecting device. Uh, it's avoiding a radiation to the patient head. So here the X-ray tube is there. Here a Heal effect. That's one more principle. All of you know in the physics family. All of you know, I think, Heal effect. That is nothing but one end more intensity have, another end less, comparatively less intensity. So next topic, computer tomography. So many of them take CT. All of you see, I hope all of you seen CT. CT was invented by Godfrey Hounsfield. He is a British engineer, and Alan Cormack is a South African physicist. They compiled and worked in the year of 1972. They award Nobel Prize for contribution to medicine and science in the year of 1979. First CT scanner available in the market 1976. Initially, they used only to diagnose the head, the brain. So alternatively, they made so many modification in the instruments. So now we are reached up 7th generation. So first generation that take more than 48 hours for one image. Now we are in the 7th generation. Within 3 to 5 minutes, the image will be in the monitor. So computerized tomography scan combined a series of X-ray image taken from different angle around your body, and computer processing to create cross-sectional image that is called a three-dimensional image. Three-dimensional image in the sense we can see axial, coronal, and sagittal views. And the CT scan has many uses, but it is particularly well suitable to quickly examine people who may injured or accident patient. So next is the portable CT. This is a little advantage with the basic CT. So portable CT is very helps to the ward patient. Ward patient in the sense bedside patients. So staff can stay in the ICU department with the patient because the patient no longer has to be transported from one place to another place. That means if one patient in the 4th or 5th floor, but most of the centers have a radiology in the ground floor. The 5th floor patient cannot move to the ground floor. So during the time that mobile or portable computer tomography very much useful to the patient. Using this system extremely easy, and also it's a very compact. You see, it's a movable. The instrument has a wheel wherever you want, like a mobile radiography. This instrument like a mobile radiography. So immediately, once if you acquire the image patient, immediately that image stored in the window, you can click in the OK, it automatically send through PACS. So immediately the radiologist got that image within seconds. So next is the magnetic resonance imaging. That's in older days call it as a NMRI. NMRI N refers nuclear magnetic resonance. So most of the people are afraid about that. So MRI has radiation. So that is why that name again changed into NMRI into MRI. So here is no radiation. Here using a magnetic field. So strong magnetic field producing the pulse of radio frequency energy, which aligns hydrogen nuclide in the tissue and body water. The subsequent loss of alignment with time produce the MRI signals. So here it will take minimum 15 to 40 minutes for each study, one study. So here main two sequences there, one T1 and T2. T1 water, if water is dark, you can see better of anatomy, human anatomy. If T2 called water is bright, there is some terminologies used in that MRI sequence during that performance of study. So water is bright, you can better to identify pathology. So water is dark, anatomy. Water is bright, so better for pathology. There are a lot of mathematical equations and physical involved in the magnification of that image, that that call it as processing. So if you want to study more about that MRI, you should have some basic knowledge about mathematical and physics things. And during the scan, you lie on that table that slice inside a tunnel-shaped machine. You see the tunnel-shaped machine. During the scan, the long time, the throat study, the long time, the couch, the patient lying, this name is called a couch, patient couch, that place inside. You should there from 15 to 30 minutes. It's a painless examination. MRIs can make a lot of noises, so the technician will give some headset. So that headset will give some nice music. So that purpose is to avoid outside noises. So before you go to the MRI scan, you should discuss with your doctors. If you are pregnant, you should inform to the doctor. If you have a piece of metal in your body, or if you have any implants in your body, previously you should inform to the doctors. So what will happen now? If you didn't inform to the doctor, that metals, once start the study, that metals will come outside. So that producing that donor state, the tunnel shaped, the inside is the biggest magnet is there. The magnet will catch from your body. That is very good for a soft tissue study. That is very better comparatively CT. So next one is the ultrasonography. That is colloquially call it as ultrasound. That ultrasound using as a sound wave. Here also no radiation. It's a high frequency sound waves to view inside the body. Because ultrasound images are captured in real time image. They can also show movement of the bodies, internal organ, as well as blood flows through the body vessels. Blood vessels. Unlike X-ray image, there is no ionizing radiation exposed here. This is very much useful for pregnant ladies to find a growth of the fetus. So this is an interventional radiology. That interventional radiology is a therapeutic and diagnostic specialty that comprise a wide range of minimally invasive imaging guide therapeutic procedure, as well as invasive diagnostic imaging. You can see three kind of instrument is there. Fluoroscopy, generally this instrument installed in the radiology department. If you want some you want some in your esophagus or in a throat region, that call it a barium swallow. The study name, the call it as a barium swallow. That the instruments very much helpful to the patient. The three instruments are producing X-ray. This next one, CM machine, that is very convenient for ortho department, and also in urology. And final cath lab. This is uniquely for the cath lab, cardiology department, to set insert some stent. If you are performing some stent study, the instrument is very much useful. So comparatively, these three instruments, so cath lab instruments producing more radiation. So why? The reason is, during the study, the cath lab study, nearly 20 to maybe more than 1 hour will take. In fluoroscopy or in cath lab, it will take very less. And also the machines also usage is very, very less comparatively cath lab instruments. So next one is the lithotripsy, is a non-invasive procedure. You should treat a kidney stone that are too large to pass through the urinary tract. The lithotripsy treat kidney stones by sending focused ultrasonic energy, that is called shock wave, directly to the stone first located with the help of fluoroscopy. So when you are exposed with the help of the CM machine, you identifying the stone and producing some strong focused ultrasonic energy that will break your the kidney stone. That is the main reason for accessing using in the radiology department. This is an intraoral. Everybody knows this is the intraoral. Actually, here you see this is a small shaped instruments. It producing very low dose range. The X-ray provide a lot of details and allow your dentist to find cavities, check the health of tooth, root, and tooth bone surrounding the tooth. Check the status of developing teeth. So this is very much helpful to the doctors. And orthopedomography, that is called OPG. So ortho in the sense straight, one of a complete view of the object in every direction. That produced in previous one, you can get only 2D image. You see in the image here, you can find 2 or 3 teeth in a single film. That is, but comparatively, the radiation dose also very less. When come to orthopedomography, you are the patient will get a more radiation that produce 3-dimensional image. It will take a very less time. So this is X-ray tube. This is X-ray tube here. X-ray tube placed here. This is the detector. So 360 degree it will rotate automatically. The detector also collecting the information that shows in the system. They converted into the system. So next was the bone mineral densitometry. This is to study the calcium level of human body. Not only human body, that spinal cord. So it calcium level, how much, if more than 50 age group people, adult have some disc problem. So we should measure that which disc has the damage, how to treat. So these also helping to diagnose the spinal cord of the human body. So next, these are the radio diagnostic instruments. So I hope you are understand some of things about what is the radio diagnostic instruments and non-radio diagnostic instruments. So all those things are radio diagnostic instruments, but MRI and ultrasound, they're not using a radiation. So nuclear medicine. So nuclear medicine is the branch of medicine that use radioactive substance in the diagnostic and therapeutic purposes. These substance consist of pharmaceutical, radiopharmaceutical, actually pharmaceutical labeled with the isotope. That is called a radiopharmaceutical. In diagnosis, radioactive substance are administered to patient and the radiation emit is measured in the location. That call it the diagnostics purpose. In therapeutic, isotopes are administered to treat the disease. That is the difference. So both are same procedure, injecting some radiopharmaceutical to the patient. So after injecting that radiopharmaceutical, the patient continuously emitting the radiation. So the patient should be kept in the department up to the level will come normal. So here already I told diagnostic radiology is the photoelectric principle is playing in diagnostic radiology. In nuclear medicine, pair protection is playing a main role in the nuclear medicine. So here you see it directly hit the nucleus. You see, you directly external energy hit the nucleus and neutron and positrons emitting. So during two energy is releasing from the nucleus, that process called it as annihilation. So that energy, the 2 gamma with the equal energy of 511 kV. So both are coming in the 180 degree direction. So here you see this is a positron emission tomography. This is the first donor shaped gantry is the CT. Another one is the PET scan, positron emission tomography scan. So this CT scan first collect the image of anatomical part and molecular study of your body. So fused with the both images, you will get attractive three-dimensional image of tumor. You can find different traceries available. If you want to study brain cells, you add brain tracer, radiopharmaceutical brain tracer. That will automatically store in the brain. So what is the principle here? Actually, why it is a red? So when all of you know, actually in a cancer patient, growth, the cell growth is more comparatively normal cells. So if more growth, their glucose metabolicity also more. So if glucose metabolicity activities where it's more, the blood supply also there more. So the blood supply is more, all the tracers are stored in the one single location. That is why it shows the red color. So it's a small amount of radioactive, you see, next. Okay, here, this is the detector. So a small amount of radioactive sugar molecules that called FDG, fluorodeoxyglucose, is injected to the bloodstream. It's traveled throughout the body. A PET scan is used to detect and generate image that indicate the high FDG is stored. That place undergo for diagnosis. Many cancer require more energy than normal FDG tracer accumulate in these cells. So this is the procedure. So once the detector collect all the information that converted into the processing, that processor algorithm, the already inbuilt algorithm is there. The detector information converted into that like a picture, three-dimensional picture. So another one more instrument that is called single photon. That one, previous one is the positron. Here you see single photon emission computer tomography. The instrument also under coming of nuclear medicine. Why it's coming of nuclear medicine? Gamma camera used, actually here the gamma energy releasing from the human body. So with the help of the Harman camera, electronic device used in the medical diagnosis image the distribution of radioactive components in the tissue. So it helps to view the distribution of radiopharmaceuticals in the human body with the help of gamma camera. In general, it's a device used for image in nuclear medicine for imaging the gamma rays. It's emanating from the radioactive components in the body. So once collecting from the this angle camera, it helps to collimate the energy. We'll see in the next slide. So clearly it shows what is difference between PET scan and SPECT scan. So here you see positron emission tomography, single photon emission computer tomography. So here the energy released in the same in the sense opposite direction. The detectors collecting all the information that it converted into the system. But here the 360-degree the gamma ray emitting from the patient. So closerly place the detector, that is called a gamma camera, place the detector and collect the, how it is collecting with the help of the collimators. The collimators helps to avoid some scattered signals. So finally it will give right signals on the crystal, that crystals is converted in the images, electronic images. So these are some volume encoded PET-CT images. You can see that difference between PET-CT and SPECT-CT. So these two instruments are very much useful in the nuclear medicine. So next we are move on to radiation oncology. So radiation, when we talk about radiation oncology, that Compton effects is playing a major role in radiation oncology. So what is oncology? The cancer, the study of cancer that called as oncology. Here using a radiation that called radiation oncology. So what here is happening, when external energy go and hit the atom, that outermost electron. So first one photon is a innermost K cell, and pair protection, it's interacting with the nucleus. Here Compton effect, outermost electron hit the electron, the energy hit the electron, and the electron is ejected from the atom. That electrons ejected from the atom, that atom is unstable. So that principle playing a major role in the radiation therapy. So what is radiation oncology? So first you should understand main mechanism of radiation oncology. So here you see you need physics principle, chemistry, and biology. So what are the physics principles are helping? So ionization process, that coming under physics principle. Next one is that chemistry, creating of free radicals. So when ionization process happening in the living organism, the free radicals are produced. And finally, biological effect, that called damaging of DNA samples. So if you creating, or if you damage the DNA, that damage, with the help of the DNA damage, we are curing the cancer patient. Net effort. What is the net effort? Prevent cells from the dividing. So cancer is not a curable disease, it's a controllable disease. So if cancer is growing, you can go and stop it. Cancer growing, but purely you can stop the growth, it's not possible, but still the research is going on. So next, the treatment objective, deliver a high dose to the tumor target while minimizing dose to healthy normal tissues. That is the main important thing in the radiation oncology. So previously I told teletherapy and brachytherapy. So what is teletherapy? So teletherapy is radiation from outside the body. So you see that animation, when you exposing some X-ray and gamma rays to the tumor from some distance. So that process call it as teletherapy. When we talk about brachytherapy, that radiation from inside the body, that process called brachytherapy. So you place some applicator to the tumor and send some radio emitting source, place the once reach the location, expose the energy. So that process called brachytherapy. If external coming any energy to the tumor, that process called teletherapy. Okay. So in teletherapy, there are two main treatment modality. Instrument is there. First one, telecobalt. Another one is the linear accelerator. What is telecobalt? So this is the oldest instrument, but still so many hospitals are having, but here using a radioactive element. So when bombarded with neutrons, cobalt 59 is converted to cobalt 60. That you can see that formula. So cobalt 59 is not a radioactive element, but cobalt 60 is the radioactive element. That cobalt 60 used in the teletherapy, the cobalt 60 half-life is 5.3 years. We can use it in the clinical purpose, 5.3 years in the departments. So in the instrument, different form of cobalt 60 is available. Solid cylinders, disc, or pellet form, and contained inside a stainless steel capsule and sealed by the welding. So that size may be 1 to 2 centimeter. All the radioactive elements are monitoring by the International Atomic Energy Agency. That's located in the USA. But in our country, monitoring, diagnostic, nuclear medicine, industry, everything, radiotherapy, under coming up AERB, Atomic Energy Regulatory Body, Mumbai. So these are some, you see, this is a source head. The source, the radioactive source will be there here, and collimation. Collimation helps to collimate the beam. This whole setup call it as a gantry. This is a gantry stand, and the patient positioning place. That is a patient couch. So you see, some patient images here. This is before treatment. That's called a breast cancer patient. That patient come to the radiotherapy department. Is a teletherapy unit. Their frequent 20 to 26 fraction of exposure they are giving to the patient. That during the treatment, that some or improvements. So end of the treatment, the patient cured a cancer, CAS breast. So next one is the very leading thing is the linear actually is the device most commonly used for external beam radiation therapy to treat the cancerous patient. So a linear accelerator, also known as a linear particle accelerator, has many applications such as they generated X-ray and high energy electrons for the radiotherapy department. So it's serving a particle injuries for the high energy accelerator and are used directly to achieve the highest kind energy, kinetic energy, that delivering highest kinetic energy to the tumor cells. And here, these are the parts, the important parts. You can see this is that MV source, that is source. Here not using a radioactive element, here generating radiation, generating X-ray. When you are applying power, the X-ray will come with your operating. Okay. And the linear actually is used to treat all type of cancers. And it deliver high energy X-ray to region of the patient wherever. Okay, what is cone beam computed tomography? Actually, our title instruments used in radiology and radiotherapy. That is why I selected only the instruments concept. So here you see CBCT, cone beam computed tomography, it producing delivering a cone shaped beam, that is called a cone beam. So CT already you know 3-dimensional image. If you can see the 3-dimensional image that called a computer tomography. You see this is also one of the linear accelerator room. Here the MV mega voltage unit source is here, and the KV kilo voltage that called a diagnostic X-ray tube principle. That X-ray tube. Okay, here is a CBCT X-ray tube. This is a detector. So before starting the treatment, so we have to verify. So when patient is coming to the diagnostic, the same image in the therapeutic also. If any mismatching, we can find here and we will correct the mistakes with the help of the CBCT. So what is these both instruments undergo radio teletherapy and brachytherapy, high dose rate and low dose rate brachytherapy. So what is high dose rate? That is plastic tube or needles are inserted to the tumor, are placed a hollow applicator inside the body cavity. So you see these are channels, different channels that are called as applicators that placed for the breast. Actually, this is a breast cancer patient that placed here, and it's a remote after loading technique. So once the radioactive source are stored here, so except the patient, all of them in outside. So when you're operating in the control console zone, the one by one the source will come to the through with the help of the applicator. It will reach the tumor location and expose again will go the same position. Once the treatment's completed, all the applicators are removed the same day. But when come to these are some clinical images. You see, this is exposure. Yes, different locations. They mark as a different exposing that radiation. After the treatment, you can see that good hand of the sarcoma, soft tissue sarcoma patient. So in low dose rate, that's called another name permanent implants. So between 40 to okay. So you come to the here. This is the breast image. Suppose low dose isotopes placed as a permanently placed in the human body. So that stay end of the life, up to the end of the life. So these two things are brachytherapy instruments used in the radiotherapy, brachytherapy departments. Another one is particle therapy. So particle therapy is a new thing in the radio treating a cancerous patient in our Asian side, but Europe already started before 15 years before. They applied the principle to the cancerous patient. But in our country, I hope in India, we have only one center in Chennai, Apollo Proton Therapy Center. So what is particle therapy? Particle therapy is a form of external beam therapy using beam of energy that protons and neutrons and positive ions for cancer treatments. So what is neutrons produced by neutron generators and cyclotrons? Protons produced by cyclotron and synchrocyclotron. And heavy ions that call it as helium, carbon, nitrogen, argon, these are heavy ion therapy. So in most of the center, they are practicing carbon heavy ion therapy and boron heavy ion therapy. They are practicing in the clinical purposes. So what is proton therapy? That is, proton is the nucleus of hydrogen atom and has a positive charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb, mass 1.6 into 10 to the minus 27 kilogram. So you see that if you install this the setup in your hospital, you have to pay more money to the vendors. That is why no hospitals are not willing to install this new practice. But here the dose delivery, so entirely different with that telecobalt, brachy, and so you see when this is a proton therapy graph. So in X-ray beam, you see the blue color line, that is the X-ray beam dose delivery. So depth in tissue, here radiation dose level. Oh, okay. And compared to proton, that dose level is high. You see, when dose level is high, using the orange color line also, this is the proton therapy peak that suddenly fall the maximum dose and fall off. So that principle applied in the proton therapy treatment. So here, if you are fixing any kind of a radiotherapy beam to the patient, it will automatically slightly what I say, it's decreasing very slowly. It's not a rapid changes in the so next one is the boron neutron capsule therapy. That is a highly effective from the radiation therapy. It's a long-term experience with treated cancer. So the critical tumor types, it's a pathologist. Very difficult to kill using conventional radiotherapy. So that kind of patients go for this boron neutron capsule therapy. The pathologies are classified as being radio resistance actually. Neutron therapy is specialized in the treating of inoperative things. So radio resistance tumors occurring anywhere in the human body. So that kind of and that kind of treatment capsule therapy is very much helpful. So what the principle here, the ion source generated from here and protons are hitting in the liquid target that heat protection is approximately 40 kilovolt. Once they hit that lithium target, that produce neutrons that collimated in the 1 mm region that reach to the patient. So these techniques, before that, yes, I should know, before that the patient injected to the borium material. So once borium material injected in and also the neutron beam also delivered to the patient, the treatment will be success. Okay. So, and heavy ion in cancer therapy. So you can understand that from the beginning to the up to level, is a biological effectiveness and physical dose distribution advantages. So when we using a KV X-rays, that is very, very low, and alternative one, cobalt 60, that is called a gamma rays. So IMRT, intensity modulation radiotherapy, is coming of linear accelerator. Okay, and electron therapy also, electron also producing the linear accelerator itself. And the proton therapy and helium ion therapy, the carbon. So most of the center, not actually in Europe side, they are practicing carbon, that producing physical dose distribution advantages also high. At the same time, biological effectiveness of the tissue also very high. So that is why they are go for carbon ion therapy. So this is my lecture, and with this lecture. So I hope I teach some few of the information in the radiology, nuclear medicine, and radiation oncology. If you have any doubts, please ask me in the chat box or ask me by audio. Hello, Jitendran sir. Hello, Jitendran sir. Hello. Hello. Are you there? Hello. Hello. Are you hear me? I am audible. Hello, admin.
Yes,
I am
sir.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Please, if you have any questions.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, sorry. Actually, my system was like shut down for some time.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Thank you
hope
very much.
my level, I done my job, sir. Actually.
Thank you very much for delivering nice talk over the radiation tech instruments in radiology and radiation oncology. It was really wonderful lecture. Participants can ask question. I invite participants to ask question. What are the there is a question. What are the side effects of what?
Which techniques has minimum risk in?
There is no information regarding that. Okay. Sew defect. Which technique has minimum risk in terms of sew defects?
Actually, in radiotherapy, they're asking radiotherapy. Comparatively, Cobalt 60 is a well good agreement with the curable rate and also the dose delivery. That is better to compare other modalities. I hope they are asking that question. What is the side effects of radiation on human body? Lokesh Jain. Actually, side effects, it's the damaging the DNA, that radiation induced cancer will come. Actually, if you get a more radiation, the cancer will come, our human body. Then DNA changes, the genetic materials, yes, that also important thing. If once one generation people get a more radiation, that will transmit to the next generation also. There's a big problem in the radiation. X-rays are harmful to which extent? What are its?
Yeah, there is a question. Yeah.
X-rays harmful? Yes.
What are its consequences?
Consequences in the sense, still we are accessing the same radiation. Everybody is working as radiation. We should it's a safe. Actually, I didn't mention that radiation safety aspect of the slides here. Actually, we should whenever you working in the radiation therapy unit, we should wear TLD, thermoluminescent dosimeter badge in the chest region. Okay, when we are going to nuclear medicine, we should wear in the wrist level badges. So in Europe, there are using OSLD, optically simulated luminescent dosimeters. There are accessing nowadays, but that will come in upcoming days in our country also.
Okay.
Any other
There
questions?
is one question about
Please.
what is side effect of radiation on human body?
Human body, yes, that damage the DNA. That is the main important thing, sir. Actually, once the DNA material damaged, okay, the whole system will be damaged. The whole system, in the sense, everything will come to our human body. So our immunity power will be reduced. These are the some effects.
Okay. Mhm.
Any other questions, sir? Actually, one more. Is there any other method to cure cancer than radiology? Actually, you should understand
Yeah.
radiology the cancer. Radiology only diagnoses the disease. Radiotherapy, they are treating the cancers. Actually, still that the only one thing, only one way to treat the things, that radiation in a different form. So one more, actually there is advanced research actually going on, nanomaterials. So some nanomaterials in future maybe will come, and immunotherapy. So our human body have immunity power. So based on the gene therapy, that they call it as a gene therapy. So we stimulate some genes in our body. So we will study that the gene against the cancerous cells. That process is undergoing on, but is not successful on still in the research.
Okay.
Any other
There
question?
is one question. Please describe brain tumor and its treatment.
Brain, yes, sir. Brain tumor.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't see that
Its
question.
treatment. There's
Which
question related
treatment
with
is
the
better
treatment of
for brain?
brain tumor.
Actually,
Yeah.
SRS, stereostatic needles biopsy. Actually, one instrument is the CyberKnife. That instrument called it is CyberKnife. That has more than 200 radioactive source. That cobalt source is there. So once you place your head, that will treat for the brain tumor patients. But when compared to cobalt or teletherapy, not brachytherapy, cobalt and linear accelerator, CyberKnife is good result, and also proton therapy result also very good.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What is
Okay.
it?
There is a question.
Yes, please. Which
Oh,
question?
yes, question.
You use cobalt 60 for
Hello.
radiotherapy, can
Yeah.
not
What is the effect of microwave radiation?
artificially by other under that.
2.45 gigahertz on human body and especially DNA.
Yes, okay. What is it? Effect of
Effect of
microwave.
microwave
Once again,
radiation.
yeah. Radiation 2.5 gigahertz on human body, and especially DNA. Yes, microwaves radiation 2.45 gigahertz on human body. But I don't have that much idea, sir. Actually, I don't that question.
The high frequency maybe radiation. So gigahertz is
Is it?
अभी नहीं.
Hello.
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah. There is one question about
Please.
we use cobalt 60 for radiotherapy.
Okay.
Cannot we produce radiation artificially by
Okay.
other means which more appropriate for cancer treatment?
If we are not accessing cobalt 60, is it correct, sir? We use cobalt
Cannot we
60
produce radiation artificially?
artificially, artificially any other element. Actually,
Yeah.
the main thing, cobalt 60, the law of life is very more comparatively other radioactive element, and also we can seal it easily. So we are using cobalt 60 in radiotherapy. So artificially by other means is more appropriate for cancer treatment. I don't have any idea about that question.
So Can we only
Maybe
use
half-life.
cobalt 60 for radiotherapy?
What's that?
Can we use only cobalt 60 for radiotherapy, not others?
Ah,
Radiation produced
yeah,
by
yes,
other things.
on others in the sense, other radioactive elements not penetrating to the human, that also penetrate, but if you are treating with some distance, that good, result will be very, one thing. Second thing, cobalt 60, and that pellets also using in that cyber knife. Brain already also know cyber knife instrument is there. So for the brain tumor treatment purposes, they are using cobalt 60. So many usages there, not only teletherapy.
Okay.
Tumors
Tumors
can
can
be
be
Actually,
benign.
I hope so many questions coming. No problem. I given my email here. So
yeah.
please put on that email. I will explain. If I know, I will give, or otherwise I will search in the Google and I will collect the information. I will give it to that concerned person.
Okay, okay.
I
I
will
will
provide
provide
your
your
email
email
ID.
ID to
Yes.
the participants.
Okay.
Dr.
Srivastava
Srivastava
sir,
sir
for
for saying
saying
few words
about
about
today's
today's lecture,
and
and
thanks
thanks
to
to
our
our
guest
guest
speaker.
या अनम्यूट करो यार वीडियो.
जी सर.
ना अनम्यूट करो, यहाँ से हो नहीं पा रहा.
एक मिनट सर.
यस
आपका तो
यस ओके 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 ओके. या so thank you Dr. S. Savlan, Radiological Safety Officer, MGM Medical College, Pondicherry, for a nice and very informative lecture on instruments used in radiology and radiation oncology. Really, you focused on the instruments only. That's why the several questions arises from the audiences regarding the safety. So some other day we will try on the safety measures. So today your lecture on the instrument used in radiology and radiation of oncology is focused only on the instrument. As we know that the radiation is everywhere. The only difference is that the space radiation, where that is the in the form of the light, radio, microwave. Such type of radiation is called the non-ionizing radiation. But in the medical purposes, the and the instrument used for the medical purposes is based on the ionizing radiation is produced by an unstable atom. So everybody wants the safety measures for that instrument. As far as cancer is concerned, the radiation oncology has three parts, three specialty you can say involved in the cancer treatment. One, radiation oncology, surgical, and the medical oncology. As far as the physics is concerned, so there are several, we can say, jobs in this medical line. Either you can say the medical physicist or the medical technician as a part of the multidisciplinary cancer team, and a medical physics in general, the application of the physics concepts, theories, and methods to the medicine or the health care. So there are several types of nature of jobs for the physics student, especially you can say biomedical physics, medical biophysics, applied uh, physics in medicine, physics application in medical science, physics application in the radiological physics, and the hospital radiophysics. So Mr. Sevlan very well said the radiation about the radiation therapy that is commonly applied to the cancerous tumor because of its ability to control the cell growth. Ionizing radiation works by damaging the DNA of the cancerous tissues, leading to the cellular death. Naturally, it would be more useful if some safety measures are mentioned here. So, we can say the radiation can also be produced by high voltage devices like X-ray sources and the some devices when we use the digital types of devices, the some radiation is low. So Dr. Selvan mentioned the various types of the instruments like X-ray, gamma radiations, and the digital radiography, the CT, yeah, we can say that is a computed tomography, MRI, ultrasonography, after nuclear, in terms of the nuclear medicine, the radiation oncology, that is depends on the Compton effect. That Compton effect plays a major role in the radio oncology. Here we can say the all three branches, physics, chemistry, and biology, are applied here. And also mention the linear accelerator, CBCT, and the new techniques like the particle therapy, proton, neutrons, and heavy ions that started from the 1919 to I think to 1999 that the heavy ions we can use. And the most important thing, the boron neutron capture therapy, carbon ion therapy. So maximum instrument used in the medical hospitals, yeah, we can say that for the treatment of the cancers and the other ailments, used. Dr. Selvan mentioned all such type of the instrument. So I heartily thankful, and we have no words. We remain deep in depth to him to express a very nice, very informative, and the very interesting lecture. So I extended my warm
Thank you,
thanks
sir.
to Dr. Sevlan.
Thank
And
you.
I have one question.
Please,
I have
sir,
one
please.
question. Huh?
Please, sir.
So as far as this safety is concerned, so I read somewhere the some saffron type things are there. The safety and radiation oncology.
What's that? I can't hear.
Is that true?
Can you tell me one more?
Say, yeah, repeat it again.
Please.
Safety in radiation oncology.
Radiation oncology, yes.
Yeah. So is there any group like saffron? SAFRON.
Saffron. Actually, I can't. I didn't understand that.
So okay. No problem. We will interact from.
Please. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, about giving the brief about this today's lecture. Now I invite Dr. Anita Sharma, madam, HOD Physics, to thanks to all the participants about this program, and afterwards I will invite Dr. PK Dubey sir for vote of thanks.
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ मैडम.
हेलो,
मैडम
आवाज आ रही है सर?
आ रही है. प्लीज स्टार्ट.
Good afternoon to Honorable Chief Guest, respected sir, invited guests, teachers, and all participants. First of all, I would like to thank my colleague Dr. Jiten Solanki sir to give me the opportunity to speak on this auspicious occasion, and it is a matter of honorable for me. As we know, it's 5 day webinar which is on its last day, but I would say it's beginning of many more such events which will organize in future. And I am giving my thanks to respected R.C. Pantil sir and all speaker Dr. Andrews, Dr. J, Dr. Saurabh Pandey, Dr. Kamal Thakkar, and Dr. C. Cheta sir. And big thanks to respected IAPT chairman Dr. B.D. Srivastava sir, Dr. P.K. sir, and its team to its make it successful. And my special thanks Dr. Jiten Solanki sir has put his hard effort to make it successful. And very thank you sir, Dr. Jiten sir. तो हमने इस गवर्नमेंट मनावर कॉलेज जो कि एक ट्राइबल एरिया है उसमें आपके प्रयासों से बीडी सर स्पेशली थैंक्स बीडी श्रीवास्तव सर जितेंद्र सर आपने बहुत ही अच्छा सिंपोजियम यहाँ ऑर्गेनाइज किया है जिससे हमारे एमएससी लेवल स्टूडेंट को जो हमारे रिसर्च स्कॉलर है उनको हमारे अच्छे स्पीकर्स हमको सुनने को मिलते हैं उनके काफी नॉलेजेबल लेक्चर्स हमको मिले हैं दिस इज अ वेरी वंडरफुल सेशन एंड हम फ्यूचर में भी इस टाइप का ऑर्गेनाइज करवाएंगे और हमको आशा है कि सर हमको हमेशा इसी तरह से हेल्प करेंगे और हमेशा इस तरह का आपको सहयोग करेगा थैंक यू सो मच सर थैंक यू वेरी मच
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Now I invite Dr. P.K. Dubey sir for vote of thanks.
ये वीडियो ऑन करो वीडियो
जी सर
आवाज आ रही मेरी
आप विपिन सर का वीडियो ऑन कर दीजिए मेरा होस्ट एक्चुअली विपिन सर आगे सर वीडियो आपको
आवाज में आ रही है
जी सर
Yes, sir. So it is a matter of great pleasure for me and IAPT to be a part of this international East Symposium organized from 6 June to 10 June. We are having different speakers and each speakers, the talk of each speakers is started from the basic physics and it is useful to MSc students also. Means the main thing that it is all lectures are informative and they are helpful to PG students. Another thing, I would like to thank Professor Selvin for giving a lot of information today.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
In a nutshell, so many things. And the main thing is that you discuss the physics also. This photoelectric effect, Compton effect, is how this ionizing radiation used for in different instruments and they are used for this cancer therapy. And I want to thank the organizing committee of this college, Manavar College, Government Manavar College, for organizing this beautiful international e-symposium, especially convener Jiten Solanki, coordinator Dr. Sastia, Dr. Anita Sharma, And there are so many persons behind this. I want to name them: Dr. Anita Sharma, Dr. Pragati Jain, Dr. Ritu Mathuria, Dr. Vishnu Varman, Dr. Mamta Bhayal, Dr. Nutan Rajput, Dr. Pooja Sharma, Dr. Ankita Soni, and myself, Dr. P.K. Dubey. And the one more thing, the principal of this Manawar, Government Manawar College, who has given full freedom to these committee members, convener, coordinators, so that they can work, and we are having a nice seminar, this symposium. And IAPT is basically is a platform to promote these type of activity, particularly for students and teachers. So in future, IAPT will also be there to have this type of e-symposium seminar. Once again, thankful to Dr. Jiten Solanki. And one more thing I want to mention about our great dynamic professor, Dr. V.D. Srivastava, who's always working. He never says that we will discuss this matter later on. So thanks to all. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving vote of thanks. Now, I want to thank all the participants and senior professor joined from various parts of the country. I thank all the speakers who accepted my invitation in very short period of time. So thanks to all. I thank especially Principal Dr. R.C. Pantel, patron of this program, for giving me opportunity to conduct this type of event. And I also thank all the committee members, and particularly like coordinators, I.S. Sastya sir, Anita Sharma madam, organizing committee member, G.S. Vaskel sir, Nutan Rajput madam, Baghel sir, Sunil Rathod sir, Pragati Jain madam, Pooja Sharma madam, O.P. Maru sir, Rajan Baleshwar sir, all the committee member, and Vipin sir also from technical team. This program couldn't have been possible without the constant support and help of IPT team. I especially thank Dr. B.D. Srivastava sir for his constant support and guidance for making this event successful. I also thank Dr. P.K. Dubey sir for giving guidance about this program and always to help me. I thank all the participants and senior professor to join this event and to make this event successful. Thanks to lot again. If there is any mistake from our side, we are sorry for that. Thanks to all for joining us.
Hello. Jiten.
Hello, sir. Ji, sir.
Hello.
Ji, sir. Ji, sir.
I want to say one more thing.
Ji, sir.
The most interesting thing in this committee members, that all these committee members are not belongs to physics or geology. So it is a very good thing. It is an interesting thing that all contributed to this international e-symposium. Thanks to all these professors of belongs to different departments.
Thank you. There are also some
Yes,
committee
sir.
members.
Suryato sir.
Dr. Uttam
Solanki sir,
Kumar,
very,
Dr.
very thank
Netam
you.
Kaurav sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Vaskel
Thank
sir.
you.
Excellent organization, excellent team, and enjoyed all the lectures.
अरे बहुत बढ़िया.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks to all committee members again.
Thank you, Venkat
Participants
sir.
and senior professor.
अरे आज तो वेंकट रमन जी के दर्शन हुए था.
हाँ, वेंकट रमन जी के बिल्कुल. I was very eager to have this snapshot of Professor Venkat Raman.
एक मिनट मैं ले लूँ.
Today I
Thanks,
got
Dr.
it.
Selvan, for giving wonderful talk.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Actually, I would like to extend my all the greetings to the organizing team and association, Indian Association for the physics team. So thanks a lot, Dr. Jitendra sir.
Welcome.
Actually, I know.
Dr. Senthil,
Yes, please, sir. Please.
Sendamil Chelvan.
Yes, please, sir.
It was excellent talk, excellent lecture. ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்துச்சுங்க. Thank you.
ரொம்ப நன்றி சார், ரொம்ப நன்றி சார். Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
நன்றிங்க.
Okay.
Okay. I think thank you again IIPT team and especially Dr. V.D. Srivastava sir and Dr. P.K. Dubey sir for your support, for constant support. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Shall we end this meeting? Or is there any suggestion from participants or any comments? Would you like to say something about this program?
Hello. Hello.
Any suggestions or comments from participants?
Hello.
Hello, yeah, we can hear you.
Excellent organization, sir. Lectures के
Thank you,
टॉपिक
sir.
भी बहुत अच्छे रहे और कुछ इनोवेटिव आइडियाज सीखने को मिले. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. हाँ गोपाल सर बताइए.
गोपाल कुछ बताओ.
माइक आपका माइक ऑन कर लीजिए. Any comments, suggestions from participants, senior faculty members?
हाँ गोपाल कुछ बोलो.
क्या सर कुछ कमेंट्स आपकी तरफ से?
केकरे सर की आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
हेलो हेलो
क्या सर? हाँ सर
अगर मैं
आवाज आ
शाम
रही
पे
है.
यहाँ पे आवाज. हेलो
हाँ जी आ रही है सर आवाज.
हेलो.
यस सर
हाँ
आपकी आवाज आ
आपके
रही है.
चेहरे पे लाइट नहीं गिर रहा है सर.
हेलो सर आपकी आवाज आ रही है.
Actually, I am at my farm, so lot of disturbance is there. Hello. Solanki ji, hello.
Okay, okay. जी सर जी सर. सर कुछ बोल रहे हैं आप? So do you want to say something?
ये विपिन कुशवाहा जी भी स्क्रीन पे हैं.
हाँ सर.
हाँ सर कुछ बोलिए.
श्रद्धा मैडम और नन पेशेंट कौन है? Any comments, any suggestions? You are most welcome.
एनी टाइप बगैर
Yeah,
डरे
any type
कहिए.
of suggestion, improvement, comments, any mistakes done from our side.
हाँ there are so many mistakes to point out.
Yeah.
करिए.
So that we can improve next program.
Sir, may I?
Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. I only want to congratulate congratulate to you all. You did very much hard work, and it is very appreciable. and it is very informative lecture, and we all have a proud on you, or we learn a lot of things from you. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulate once again.
ये सभी के एफर्ट से सक्सेसफुल हुआ है हमारे कमेटी की तरफ से।
सर, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा और हमें बड़ा प्राउड है आपके सर।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू
सर। एक चीज है, ये टाइमिंग थोड़ा अलग अलग दिन के हो गया था। कल जैसा एक दिन कभी 9 बजे कभी 10:30 ऐसा होते हैं, तो कल मेरा लेक्चर आधा मिस हो गया मेरे लिए।
अच्छा अच्छा
सर, तो एक ही टाइम आगे से अपन रखते हैं, एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम रखते हैं, इधर मॉर्निंग और इवनिंग, वन टाइमिंग विल बी फिक्स्ड। आई थिंक दैट वुड बी बेटर। कई बार दिमाग में उतर जाती है।
Actually, yesterday lecture was from California. Yeah,
right,
so
understood.
It was 9:30 a.m. here, and
उनको बहुत रात हो गया होगा।
So it was very difficult for him to take lecture at 11:30 in India. Yeah, so that's why we kept 2 lectures in the morning, early morning, for 9 or 9:30. But next time we will try to keep some reasonable time or something.
There were many times actually कई बार दिमाग में उतर जाती है।
आवाज आ रही?
हाँ आ रही सर, जी सर।
आवाज आ रही?
I missed it actually. Half of the lecture I missed it yesterday.
Okay. Sorry for that, sir.
Sorry, no. Actually, I should have kept it in the mind. In fact, we should keep it in the timings in our website itself.
Okay.
हेलो
जी सर।
हाँ सर बोलिए। आवाज आ रही फॉर्म पे आवाज। हेलो
आ रही सर, आपकी आवाज आ रही।
आप तो बोलिए, आवाज आ रही है सर। आ रही है।
केकरे साहब आवाज आ रही है।
सोलंकी जी आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई, पूरी टीम को, आपके IIPT टीम। बहुत अच्छा वेबिनार रहा, हमने बहुत एंजॉय किया, वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव। रिसर्चर्स, यंग रिसर्चर्स के लिए, अपकमिंग रिसर्च के लिए बहुत हेल्पफुल रहा। इवन हमारे को भी कुछ ब्रशिंग आउट हुआ अच्छा है ना। तो थैंक यू ऑल, थैंक्स अ लॉट, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। आपकी टीम को बोलिए सभी को साहब, सोलंकी जी।
जी सर, श्योर, थैंक यू।
वेरी नाइस, थैंक यू
सर। आपको सबके एक बार सलाम बना रहा हूँ, बहुत सीखने के मिला, बहुत सीखने को मिला। एंजॉयड अ लॉट। सोलंकी साहब, एक्सीलेंट वर्क, टीम वर्क। थैंक यू वंस अगेन।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस, मेकिंग दिस इवेंट सक्सेसफुल। थैंक्स।
सर्टिफिकेट इशू करना शुरू करेंगे?
हाँ सर, अभी 2-1 दिन में सर्टिफिकेट्स का काम लगभग मिल जाएंगे।
आज बहुत सारा काम हो गया रोजाना का।
हाँ, जल्दी कोशिश करेंगे, जल्दी देने के।
हाँ, तो गोपाल कुछ बोलना है? आवाज आ रही है? गोपाल भी हमारे यहाँ का बहुत एक डायनामिक प्रोफेसर है।
हाँ सर।
सर अभी मैं गांव में हूँ यहाँ पर।
अभी तो गांव से आवाज आ रही है, चिंता क्यों करते हो?
टेक्नोलॉजी है तो गांव से भी आवाज आ रही है।
गांव से भी तो बोल सकते हैं।
गांव में हूँ सर, गांव में।
बिल्कुल बढ़िया, एंजॉय।
हाँ सर।
गांव में तो अच्छा खाना मिल रहा है तुमको, दूध दही सब मिल रहा है वहाँ पे।
It's a magic of technology to connect all the peoples from different place.
गोपाल जो बहुत इंटीरियर में है।
हाँ सर, गांव इंटीरियर में बहुत है।
और मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है कि आप सुन रहे हो वहां से भी।
सदा मैडम, ओम सर, ओपी मारू सर।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
थैंक यू मैडम।
सर आपका काम देखा हुआ है जितेंद्र सर, बहुत फास्ट काम है आपका।
अच्छा, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, थैंक यू।
एक बार फिर से आपके सभी विभागों के प्राध्यापकों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। उन्होंने इसमें सिंपोजियम में सहयोग किया। प्राचार्य महोदय को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मीटिंग छोड़ते हैं।
जी सर।
ओके सर।
ओके सर।